always did.
So awesome.
Someone always had to eat it. That was the thing. Usually it was me. But it was so bad. Oh,
no shit, dude.
We used to do that all the time. I completely forgot about that until we sat down to do this episode.
Oh my god. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Yeah. I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there ever like a story? It happened when you were a kid. You don't remember it, but your parents like to remind you of it all the time, and you get annoyed because you don't remember.
No. My uncle.
Or like something your parents have a video of that you don't remember, but when you see it, you're like, oh, good lord, is that me?
I got two things kind of like that. I know my parents have a video of me taking a crap when I was a baby. And they love to show that sometimes. Like, whenever it comes up, they're like, oh, let's go to the videotape.
Is this why you like to, like, is this why your bathroom shy?
Maybe. But I just know that, like, you know, it's a video of me sitting there in my rocker, and I'm smiling, looking around, all of a sudden I'm like, my frown starts to show, and my eyes get really squinty, and I look like if someone had told me the world was about to end and I had only 1 second to live. It was just like, and that's my baby face of me pooping, and they love to talk about that.
Oh my god.
Next to that, though, my uncle is a very embarrassing person. He loves to embarrass his because he doesn't have any kids. We're like his kids, so he embarrasses his nieces and nephews.
Gotcha.
And his famous line, of course, is, "What are your intentions with my nephew or niece or whoever?"
Yeah.
If you know, it's like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend. What are your intentions with my nephew?"
Awkward silence.
Yeah.
Awkward.
There is a correct answer that he will accept, but.
What?
Oh, you have to call him on his shit. You have to be like, my intent is to rape him and to deprive him of all his dignity. And then he's like, I approve.
Awesome uncle is awesome.
Yeah. So, but he loves to remind people that I used to run around, and I don't really remember. I mean, I guess I remember it, but not really. Apparently, I used to run around in my, not tighty-whities, because those were too old for me. I wore cartoon underwear up until I was in, like, 4th grade.
Yeah.
So he loves to remind me that I ran around in cartoon underwear, and just didn't care. Like, I don't think that's big of a deal, but he makes it sound like it was such a big deal. Like, I was running around talking to everybody's friends, because there was a full house. It was my mom, my 2 sisters, my uncle, and whoever they were all doing at the time.
I don't think that's a big deal.
But he just loves to talk about it. He loves to bring it up, and he's like, oh, come wipe my butt, I just pooped, and like he just brings up all these really weird stories. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I remember about that age though, me and my sister Bobby used to take naps in a tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you all fall out?
No.
Or?
No.
Oh.
We had a very convenient backyard tree that just was interesting to lie on.
Oh,
so
nice.
we would go up there with a pillow and blanket, and we would set ourselves up so that we wouldn't fall. And we would take a nap up there for an hour or two.
Nice.
We used to do that a lot. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
I
remember there's this one. Okay, so there's my brother's totally embarrassed about this, and I kind of am too. So my parents, of course,
you don't
like
have shame. Shut up.
I have a little bit of shame, and my parents kind of have ruined it for me. So there's this video of when me and my brother were little. And I guess we were in the mountains up by like Calico Bay or something like that. And I had a little cup, and I was in the water collecting snails.
Yeah.
Little black snails, that they have up in the mountains when they have water.
Yeah.
I was collecting snails, and you can see my brother's after the cup. Like, this little bastard is after the cup. So I set the cup down, and he goes over to the side to grab the cup. And I'm not even paying attention. And I pick up the cup, add a couple snails, put the cup over here. So he rocks all the way around to grab the cup, and I pick up the cup again, and, put a couple snails in, and put the cup, and you can see he's getting frustrated trying to chase his cup, trying to get it without me knowing. And he finally gets the cup and shakes the shit out of it, and so all my snails and all the water goes flying, and I start screaming and crying, like, my favorite snails! You stole my favorite snails! I hate you! And you
were adopted!
And then I grab the cup and pull it out of his reach, and he starts hitting me. And my dad is just, like, filming this, laughing. My mom's also laughing.
Can I watch this video?
No, I don't want you to.
But you are in possession of it.
Huh? It's somewhere, yeah. Because
watch it.
for a full year, and I don't know why, like about 3-4 years ago, for a full goddamn year, my parents thought it would be funny to show everyone. And like I said, to me it was embarrassing. For my brother, it was 10 times worse. My brother would not show his face if that TV was on showing that video. Me and him were like, oh. And I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. But, I just think it's so funny that my brother gets so embarrassed about it.
For sure. Yeah, that's really funny.
Because I had a nanny when I was growing up, so, like, some of the embarrassing stuff that I did, like the pooping in the bathtub, like, if it was my mom, I would have never heard the end of it, you know?
Yeah.
But because I had a nanny, like, kind of, like, covers up, you know, some
Yeah.
of my past discretions. My brother, on the other hand, my mom was a stay-at-home mom for his growing up, so he's got, like, the cute little pictures on the toilet where she put a tie on him and a little hat. And then him in, like, these cowboy boots that, like, you know, his whole leg fits into and then scratching his butthole. Like, he got it 10 times worse than I did.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bastard when I was a little kid.
Really? You're a bastard now. Like,
thank you.
Nothing's
Thank
changed.
you. See, now I'm proud of it, but back then I wasn't. Like, I really was a bad kid. Like, not in a way that I ever got in trouble, but in a way that I was just manipulative and always tried to get what I wanted. Like, okay, I remember I was at these kids' house, and I was a little bit older than them, not by much though, maybe a couple months, but you know, back then it's like, I'm months older than you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It couldn't have been very old at all.
Yeah.
But I remember that they kept annoying me. It was like a daycare, and they kept annoying me. And finally I was like, if you keep annoying me, I'm going to steal all your toys, and every day when I play with them, I'm going to think about you and how you don't have this toy anymore.
I would have punched you in the face.
But yeah, I used to do shit like that all the time.
Oh my god.
All the time. And okay, I'm not trying to be racist. I will stick by this story still to this day.
Oh god.
If we're talking about toys and being ruined and stuff like that. I remember I had a Game Boy. When I was little, me and my sisters had the original Game Boy. It was fat as all shit.
Yeah.
And it had big purple buttons.
Yeah.
And the cartridges were huge. But we used to play it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember for my birthday one year, I got the next one, which was a Game Boy Pocket. It wasn't. It was color. It went Game Boy, then Game Boy Pocket, and then Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And I remember I got a Game Boy Pocket that year for my birthday. I was so fucking happy. And then my mom had some weird friends growing up when I was little. I don't even remember all the friends. I just know that she always had somebody living with us.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know there was this one Mexican lady that had a bunch of kids that was living with us for, like, not very long.
Yeah.
But I know her kids were always home. And they would always play with my shit. And I remember, like, I don't know. I was little or something. I was like, oh, I'm TJ. And I shake their hand because I always thought I was more superior than I really was. So I always shook everyone's hand because I'm a douchebag like that. So I remember shaking one of their kids' hands. And I remember thinking, oh, man, your hand's really greasy.
Yeah.
And they were Mexican. I'm not trying to be racist, but this kid had oil all over his fucking hands.
Yeah.
And then my Game Boy broke when he was done playing with it. And I accused the shit out of him. I was like, you greasy motherfucking Mexican, you broke my Game Boy. And I was so mad.
And they moved out the next month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is so terrible.
I used to do stuff like that all the time. It was really bad.
God.
And I remember one time I was in another daycare, and these two girls, I forgot what happened, it was really fucking stupid, but these two girls were, like, looking at each other through, like, a pocket hole. Like, it was like a wall, and it had a...
Pocket hole?
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It was a wall... a happy cream pie hole. But it was like a wall and a hole in it for people to look through. And they got on either side.
A hole in it for people to look through.
Let me finish the story.
I don't know. It sounds more and more like porn every minute.
So anyway, so these two girls, they decide they're going to go on either side and look at each other's eyes through the hole. Right? And I'm standing from the side of them, and I'm like, oh, are you guys putting your tongue through the hole and kissing each other? And they're like, what? Ew, no. And I was like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. And they're like, no. And I was like, well, let me do it. I want to kiss one of you guys. And they're like, we're not fucking kissing. And I was like, I'm telling on you then. So I went and told them, and they had to sit in timeout for the rest of the day for kissing, and they didn't even kiss.
I bet one day we're going to have a listener and be like, that bastard.
What's your address? You're gonna
I'm
find
gonna kill you.
me. Yeah, yeah.
I was ruined for life after that timeout.